What's going on, guys? Had to reschedule the Double Dragon podcast for tonight or for Sunday night for 11 o'clock. I got Otaku with me right now. Here he is, and we wanted to make a big thank you first to Loke for making us our new logo right here, and I'll show the logo right now with our faces in between it. Here's the new logo.
Yeah,
So
Loke Wen, who's a friend of the channel, I guess he saw our poor logo designs and he wanted to help us out, and
yeah,
he created this really cool Double Dragons
yeah.
logo for us.
There,
So
there's
thank you,
there's
Loke.
this one, and there's another one. There is one with yin and yang, but you guys won't be able to see it since it's up. Well, actually, you
Oh,
kind of see
there
it up
is.
there.
Let's keep
Yeah,
let's keep that one. That one looks cool.
yeah, yeah.
I like the yin
So
yang one.
I like that one.
Yeah,
That I like them both, but that one I like a lot.
that one's fresh. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But so, appreciate it, Loke. You know what I mean? It makes us want to work a lot harder with this podcast now because we got an actual logo.
That's
You know
right.
what I mean? Yeah.
We're legit.
So yeah. So how was your Thanksgiving?
Oh, it was good. Yeah, we it's interesting so I grew up having turkey for
Right.
Thanksgiving growing
Right.
up, right? It was just a family
Right.
tradition. Um, and even when I lived in Asia for a very long time. I lived in Korea for 14 years, lived in
Right.
Japan for 3. And throughout that entire time in Asia, it's like the only time I ever really missed America or missed home was Thanksgiving, because
Mm.
it's hard to get Thanksgiving turkey, like, that kind of meal
Yeah.
out in East Asia.
What
If you go to the
any
hotel, you can get it, but you're paying
right.
like like
Boohoo.
$50 to $60 for the meal.
Yeah.
But there are pockets in Seoul, like there's places in Itaewon that had like American Thanksgiving. This was when I was out there. I don't know what Itaewon is like now, because they had that
Right.
tragedy with the
Right.
people getting like trampled and stuff.
Right. Right. Right.
I
But
think a lot
I
of
mean
that
it
really
could be
was.
a little bit a little better now, you know what I mean? It's more transport, so it's more American people over there like for business and whatever. So maybe, maybe it's a little easier
Yeah, in
access to
Japan they
get
had sort of American influenced bars and stuff, like
right.
people that expats that frequented certain
Right.
bars that
Right.
had an influence on people doing Thanksgiving style dinners and
Right.
charging. But again, it cost a little bit, it cost
Of
you.
course, because they don't really eat turkey over
Yeah,
there, so it's
no.
like you know what I
But,
mean? It's
you
like
pay for a plate, it'd be like 20
yeah,
bucks a plate or
yeah.
something.
Well, they don't
That's a
eat
pretty good
duck.
deal,
They don't
actually.
really eat duck. They really eat goose. So it's
Yeah,
so it's the
right.
opposite of what you think it is. So
Yeah, so my wife, who's Japanese,
mm,
I actually this was when I was living out there. I like invited her to
mm,
one of these Thanksgiving uh, dinners in
uh,
Tokyo. She
uh,
went and she enjoyed it and liked it. But
right,
eventually when we moved here,
right. And
it just kind
then
of
you
like
finally
was
could actually
one of those.
show her what
Yeah, she was
extra
openly
Thanksgiving
honest.
was.
She's like, I don't like turkey. It like, and
It's
I
I
think
mean
turkey is an acquired taste. I don't think it like,
yeah,
growing up, we're used to eating turkey and stuff, right? It's good.
yeah.
I
Well,
love it.
depending
But
on how you make it, sometimes people can make it and it's dry as dry
yeah,
as can be. It's like dry as an island, and so you're like,
yeah.
what the hell is this?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can really mess up turkey, but if
Yeah,
you're doing it right, I think it tastes really good. But for people who are trying it for the first time, kind of
mm,
like people who try duck for the first time,
yeah.
it's
It's
like
like you said. Yeah, like you said, an acquired taste.
it's an acquired taste. Like
Yeah,
the more you eat it, maybe the more I think you. So my wife, she doesn't hate turkey, but she doesn't really like it, so she prefers to
because
do something.
it's the leaner meat. Anyways, it's the leaner meat
Yeah,
to
yeah,
anything else. So
yeah. So we just had steak for for Thanksgiving.
well, that's all Asian families because my grandfather did that for every year on Christmas. we would have steaks instead of like hams, turkeys, or whatever it is. So that's just that
Yeah,
because he hated making. He could make a turkey, but he hated doing it because he had to
it's a
stuff the
lot of
shit.
work. Yeah,
He had
it's
to
a lot.
stuff it too. He had to stuff all kinds of stuff in it. So, but anytime he would say, he would just make a chicken. He would put it. He goes,
Yeah.
"Screw it."
I was like, if
Yeah,
we're not gonna make turkey, at least could we make roast chicken? Because that's like
right,
similar.
right.
But she's like, no,
Or
let's just
yeah,
have something really
or
good. And
ham. That's what some people do. It's the
I'm
ham
not a
too.
real ham person. I never
Yeah.
was into ham.
Well, yeah. We either did the ham or turkey or steak. One of the three, one of the
Yeah,
three meats.
yeah. No, but the steak was good. It's just not. It's not Thanksgiving though. Like it's like
Right, right.
it's
Well,
kind of like
if you grew up like I did, where where it's on Christmas, like on Christmas Day, he goes, man, we're gonna screw it. We're gonna eat steak and sweet potatoes and whatever mash and whatever, but we're not touching
not
the
having
turkey. We're not
turkey.
touching ham.
Well,
Yeah,
you
he
you
hated he hated making it. He didn't hate making it. He just hated making turkey because it was so easy to dry out. So it was easy to, like you said, mess it up. So it was
yeah,
like either do that or either.
yeah,
And he was like a lot of people will say okra's hard to cook and whatever. He was the only one that I knew could actually make okra actually edible because a lot of people make it and it's slimy. He made it, it wasn't slimy at all. And I asked him how he did it. He showed me how he did it. So I'm like, well, that makes sense.
yeah. But we did have turkey. We went to a friend's
Okay.
house who made it,
Yeah,
so
we
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 did get
all
our
we
turkey.
all do that, man. We all go. It's we don't just spend Thanksgiving with in one house. Or like I went to friends' houses, had a plate in each.
Yeah,
That's why I said we eat too much on Thanksgiving. That's the only issue.
yeah. No, it was a good time. Three
Yeah,
families got together.
yeah,
Kids were playing. It felt
yeah.
like
It felt like Thanksgiving. It felt like it
Thanksgiving.
felt that's what it's supposed to be. Not the food part is the what you're thankful for is family and friends and whoever. Yeah, like I posted all of that stuff. I said I'm thankful for all the friends and stuff that I met this year, all the friends I made. You know what I mean,
Yeah,
and everything else. So
yeah. So how was your Thanksgiving?
good. Just went to a couple different houses, couple of different plates of food. So I had a jerk turkey. Yeah, like a like the Jamaican style jerk
Oh,
turkey.
nice.
That was interesting.
Jerk turkey. No, that
Yeah,
sounds delicious. I
yeah.
love jerk chicken.
And then we had another house we had ham, turkey, what was it? Green bean casserole, sweet potato like casserole, like what was it? What not mashed potato.
I mean,
Just yeah, some type of sweet potato thing, and then a couple other things, but
yeah,
a lot of food. But I was grateful to be around family and friends. But it was a lot.
I ate a lot.
I,
Yeah,
yeah, ate a lot. I'm like, got home. I'm like, oh, ate too much every time.
yeah. Surprising how like you're full, but then when they like, oh, do you want
We
some
got
like
this.
pie or something? Then
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
like,
yeah,
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 we'll bring it on.
yeah. We had, yeah, uh, yeah. They had pumpkin. They had a pumpkin cheesecake. We got a pumpkin cheesecake. My brother ended up going to another friend's place and then bought two pumpkin cheesecakes.
Nice.
So he took one to the friends and then left one for the house. And we still got that, and then we got apple pie and the pumpkin pie still.
All right. Well, I mean, I'm glad you had a good Thanksgiving, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's we're kind of into that holiday stretch now for sure.
Yeesh.
Did you do
Yeah, it's
any
almost
Black Friday purchases? I know Black Friday was big this year.
yeah. I mean, yeah, there was a bunch of stuff. I picked up a bunch of stuff. Well, comic book wise, not so much, but I knew there were a bunch of sales going on. It's just had no time to actually. We went out for a little bit today and looked. Couldn't. I mean, there was good deals and stuff. I just couldn't find anything that I was looking for really.
Okay.
But A couple friends picked up a bunch of stuff. I picked up some stuff like what was it? The Friday. Well, if you guys didn't know, there's a streetwear brand called Supreme. Sarah and them, Sarah Frazetta and them them they partnered up and released a line of clothing of Frazetta art on clothing. So yeah, that was cool. I picked up a T-shirt from that line, so that was kind of neat. Yeah,
Wow, Frazetta art on a Supreme T-shirt. Cool.
yeah, yeah. But it some of the clothing was expensive. Like some of the jackets were like $300 or something like that. But like 340 something dollars for,
Wow.
but the quality wise, it looked decent. You know what I mean? And it wasn't like cheaply thrown together. So it was like understanding why. So I'm excited for the T-shirt. I've always wanted the lady with scythe on a T-shirt. So we finally got a male T-shirt with lady with scythe, and it actually is kind of neat. It says Supreme up front, and then on the back it says Frazetta, and then it has the artwork in the back. Kind of
Sweet.
neat. So
Well,
when I get it,
that's a
yeah, I'll
fresh
share it.
T-shirt, man.
Yeah. So when I get it, I'll share it. But yeah, pick that up this week because it dropped on Friday, like right on Friday, like at 9 o'clock. As soon as it dropped, like everything started selling out, like everything except for the t-shirts. I'm like, okay, I'll grab a t-shirt. It was meant to be because I really like wanted a piece from it. So and the t-shirt was the cheapest thing on the on the whole list. I'm like, oh, thank God there's still a t-shirt. So I picked up a t-shirt, and then there was another thing that released today. It's almost like a trading card looking thing, but it got little bits of 24 karat gold in it, and it's actually a piece like almost like a trading card. It has artwork in it, and it's like it has all kinds of Frazetta's different artworks, and it's like a little gold trading card looking thing. One, yeah, it's like three different ones. So it was pretty. Those are pretty neat. You know, that's stuff that's been coming from Frazetta's and them, and there's a bunch more stuff coming down that way. So
Nice.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah, just picked up a couple of things. Not much. I didn't pick up much. Online purchases more than anything.
Yeah, we didn't pick up much either. Everything was for like my kid.
Right.
My
Of
wife got
course.
a
It's just,
jacket.
yeah.
I was
Of
supposed
course.
to get a PC, but I think we're postponing that. Maybe for next year.
I would wait at least because as soon as next year hits, the newer the newer laptops and stuff like that are gonna drop, and you're gonna be like, son of a I
Well,
bought this one.
I think right now we don't know where
Yeah.
PCs are because they're starting to introduce AI chips.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
these AI chips are supposed to quote unquote do all the AI processing. Like if you got ChatGPT or you've got like what's it Copilot. If you got those things, they're not taking like resources on your motherboard. They're doing that kind of independently. Like so, all these companies, even MacBook just released their AI chip PC, and so it's like a wait and see for a lot of people. But it is a big shift, right? So I think next year we'll have kind of a better idea where PCs are headed and whether this new kind of technology is worth investing in or
yeah. Well,
maybe
since you
waiting for.
mentioned a hoodie, I actually have a hoodie. Hold on.
Oh
She
yeah,
mentioned
what's
a
the
hoodie.
hoodie? You got
Yeah,
a Death Dealer T-shirt on right now.
yeah. But she mentioned a hoodie. Hold on. I was just wearing it. It's cold out here for a little bit. The one day it's cold. So the hoodie.
Oh, nice. You got the Death
Yeah.
Dealer hoodie.
Yep. And this one came from Frazetta Girls last year. It was the last year's drop. It got patches and stuff like that. So
Oh, that is dope.
yeah. And a big patch in the back. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. And I got patches on the hood too. So
Oh, nice.
yeah. couple patches. Yeah, and then I got the Death
Is that your
Dealer
favorite
t-shirt.
work? Death Dealer?
It's one of them. I got a bunch. There's Lady with Scythe. That's one of my favorites. There's another one called I forget the other one, the name of it, but it's a soldier on a horse, and the girl, yes, the girl like laid across the horse. I forget what's it called, but that's another one. Dancer of Atlantis is another one where he has the bull in front of her and she's dancing. So that's another one. I got a bunch. So
I
I'm guessing.
I think my favorite is Death Dealer. It's
Yeah.
just such a
No, I mean Death Dealer is one of my favorite. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one, but I have, you know what I mean. There's a bunch of stuff that he's done that I really like. It's just
I'm sure.
Death Dealer's like, you know, up there too. It's like one of the main three. So yeah. So
What's up, Miss Soul?
yes. So Art Chemist is probably talking about the one in PA, Pennsylvania. Yeah. Yeah. That's the one, yeah, the uncle. Yeah. What was it? Yeah. Our regulars.
Arby's. Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Arby's sandwiches are good. I remember there's
a lot of them have you know, holiday theme, you know, sandwiches like the turkey. What was it, like the Wawa's has the turkey something whatever. Everybody has a turkey based sandwich anyway. So
in our household with leftover turkey, we'd make kimchi turkey fried rice.
Ooh.
Which is good, delicious, because that turkey fat really works well in that fried rice.
Yep.
Yeah, I miss kind of like having leftovers. That's the other part. You eat leftovers from about a week.
Yeah.
With the turkey, and you could do a lot of things with it, like sandwiches.
Yeah.
Fried rice, all kinds of stuff.
Stews, ramen.
Turkey ramen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff. All right.
Yeah, but that's like Grandpa says. Asian people can do amazing things with just bones.
Damn right. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like
turkey soup. Yeah.
Yeah. Because he would try to make everything and anything out of the turkey. Like he wouldn't waste it.
Nope, not at all.
Yeah, as soon as you say you're wasting it, he'll be upset.
I have a local guy here. He has a big YouTube channel. Maybe you've heard of it. It's his J-Roll. Have you heard of J-Roll? He does comments too.
Yeah.
J-Roll. It was funny because he's kind of like your uncle in the sense that he doesn't want to do. He didn't do a turkey Thanksgiving.
Right.
He ended up doing like crab or something, like shrimp or crab Thanksgiving.
That's just an Asian thing too. It's like I'm not doing seafood. Yeah. It's either you know how it is. Yeah, but you know how it is. It's either steak or either seafood. It's the expensive stuff. It's always on holidays for Asians. It's always those two things. It's either crab or lobster if they have the money.
Yeah, lobster. I'm not a big fan of lobster, to be honest. I think
yeah, but it's just funny because as soon as you said it, I'm like, one Asian thing is if it's if they don't want to do turkey, it's either steak or seafood, one or the other.
Yeah. No, my wife always gets the filet mignon and the lobster. When we have a steakhouse that we go to,
yeah,
I get the prime rib, and she gets the nice, teeny, juicy, tender steak with the lobster tails. And I'm like, it is what it is, and the lobsters are good,
right?
But don't get me wrong.
Just you're not a fan of it.
I'm not a fan.
I got you.
You're paying
I got you.
top dollar for it. I'd rather have shrimp, to be honest.
Yeah,
All right, well,
I got you.
a lot's going on in comic books. Anything catch your fancy this week?
What? Not. I mean, I saw some stuff. I just didn't have the time to actually read it because I was actually doing my due diligence on Jose Gonzalez this week. Like I was, yeah. So I just didn't have a chance to actually read a bunch of stuff that's going on. So what's actually going on?
Yeah, well, there was an announcement, and this just came out like recent, like I'm talking a couple hours ago.
Right.
But Kevin Feige has basically said they have plans to do Wolverine versus Hulk.
Oh yeah, I heard that, and then I heard something about Reed Richards' son's gonna be a big thing about stuff.
Okay.
So
yeah,
but
no, I mean, the Hulk versus Wolverine is like, it's what, comic fan. I mean, that's Deadpool Wolverine is one thing, right? Deadpool versus
Wolverine Hulk is gonna be interesting.
Wolverine
That's Hulk
Hulk
181.
is like an institution.
Dude, you thought
talking about Wolverine's first appearance, those two have been just going at it, right? In different iterations,
forever,
generations.
But if you're gonna say that's gonna happen, that damn book is gonna shoot up on even more already. That's already up there, but as soon as that hits, that thing's gonna be a rocket ship.
Not only that, but like that the McFarlane Wolverine Hulk cover, that's gonna skyrocket. Every like Wolverine Hulk book, if it has cool art or it has a cool
as soon as we mention this, it's gonna go up at least $20.
Hulk, what is it? 181? It's gone up $20 now. We just talked about it.
But it's like, but that's our big joke in between all the live streams that all the friends do. It's like anytime we mention a book, it seems, or we show a book, it seems like that book ends up goes up a couple of dollars. It's like, what the hell?
Yeah. No, it's cool. I think we all want to see that, right? Wolverine versus Hulk.
we all want to see it. It's just if you're a fan and you haven't bought that damn book beforehand, what are you waiting on? Because now, if that happens, you won't be able to afford the book. You're gonna have to freaking put a second mortgage on the house just to buy the book.
Well, I'm sure it'll go up and then it'll probably come down again. But you're right. But it could elevate to a new level.
Yeah. You thought that thing was at a level now. That scene happens. That thing's gonna go woo.
Right now, mid-grade 181 is what 4K, 5K? Would you say?
Hold on, I'll pull up eBay right now, and I'll let you know now.
Because you're not getting a high grade of that book.
Nah, high grade you won't be able to afford it. I just saw a high grade one, and nope, dude, there's no way you can afford it.
Yeah, but I mean, I would say like what, a 5.0. That's kind of where what's
manageable,
reasonable to get right now. Like,
you're
not selling. It's not like a mortgage or anything, right? It's like
a
couple thousand. I would say about 5K.
Hold on, I'm looking right now.
The grade would be at 5K. I'm saying 4. I would say 4K. I'm sure you could get it for 4K. I'm looking it up too. I kind of want turkey right now. It's like I had dinner, but yeah, it's gonna be around there.
Go, Jesus Christ. Just looked it up. It's oh man, numbers are all over a 2.0. That's the affordable one. A 2.0 would be affordable because it's only 1,000 at a 2.0 right now.
Or
one
1,000?
yeah, one dash and then 700. Or yeah. So it's one and then dash and then 700. So yeah. Yeah, and then 5.5 was they want 2,600 for it.
Well, that's not bad for a 5.5
Yeah.
graded.
5.5, yeah, 5.5
Is
graded.
it restored?
No,
Oh,
it's
that's pretty
two
good.
and then no, hold on. It's two and then there's a dash and six and 6 and 2 zeros. So yeah,
Yeah, 2,600 then.
2,600. Yeah, 4.5. Yeah, so yeah. So right now it's affordable right now. So it hasn't well they all jump around in price because one wants a 5.5 for
Wait,
3,000.
so the one that's 2,600, the 5.5 that's 2,600, it's missing the Marvel value stamp probably, right?
Oh, yeah, probably. Let's see.
Can you
It
zoom
doesn't.
in on the notes?
Let's see. Let's see.
Go ahead and share your screen too.
Okay. Yeah. 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 Hold on. I just brought it up. Uh-huh. Oh, that's why. It might be a first. No, it's a first over. Okay. Yeah. Hold on. Let me go to us. Back to our screen. Yeah. Share screen. Share screen. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. All right. Aha. There we go. See it?
All right.
Yeah. First appearance of Hall. It doesn't say anything on the notes that
No, it
says
doesn't.
nope. Not
That is a
saying it's
good
missing.
deal, dude. That's a good deal.
Yeah.
2,600.
2,600. But
Nothing missing.
Hold on. Let's see what shipping is. $11. So that's not too bad. If you're gonna spend that type of money, then yeah, it ain't too bad. But here's the list. All the listings. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Big book right there.
Yeah, all of them are in there. Yeah, all the.
I was never a fan of this book because it's not
I ain't
really
either.
like true first appearance, right?
Right.
It's
But
just
yeah,
a cover
they all
battle.
range in price,
Yeah.
really.
So it's a cover. It's a first
Dude,
cover, and it's a battle.
that's straight
Against-
stupid. $400 for a 10. You see it, right? For that new listing for the 10. It's one of those reprints that's a foil. That's why it's that price.
No one's gonna buy that.
No, nobody's gonna buy that reprint. I'm just looking at all these, but like you said, like that book right there that has a damn all these book. Yeah, see, that's another reprint. So there's reprints, and then 7.0 is not too bad. 8.5 is not too bad. See.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
there you
These
go.
are all the reprint. Yeah, these are all the reprints.
That's the spec book. It should Hugh Jackman come and fight Hulk. Now, keep in mind, Wolverine got killed by the Hulk, right?
Right.
The Hulk killed Wolverine. That's just one iteration of Wolverine that bit the bullet. I mean, like, just literally ripped him apart, right?
Right.
No, what was it? It was.
No, you saw well the one where
Hulk ate Wolverine or something.
Yeah. That's what it was. He either ate him or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
ate
he
him
ate him, and then Wolverine
ripped him from the inside out.
From the inside. Okay, not the other way around. Not where Hulk just detached his.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, why would you?
I mean, that could happen too. where
right? I would think if you detached if you popped Wolverine's head off, even if it were to regenerate, you would not. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, if you rip him in half, he would still have to. It would be a little weird to have him I don't know, rip
I
him in
think you'd
half.
have to
He'll
like
still
cut the
regenerate.
brain, like you'd have to
Yeah,
cut the brain stem from
right,
his body, like the brain from the body.
right.
You popped his head off, or
Yeah,
it wouldn't be the spine actually, because yeah, you're right. That portion could regenerate over time,
right. So
but
it'd be
you
a
would have
little
to do
weird.
like
It'd be like Deadpool, baby hand and baby head for a little while.
right. I was
You
thinking
know,
though,
so
if you detach the brain from the body, would the body be able to regenerate a brain on its own? I don't think so.
nah.
Yeah.
But so yeah, if you take his head, because you take Deadpool's head off, and I think it grows back. I think I'm not sure. I haven't read no Deadpool's comic, so I'm not sure what his powers are. But
Okay. Well, there's a science behind it, obviously. I'm sure.
yeah. So
Yeah.
whoever's a Deadpool fan, let us know in the
Let us
comments.
know. Yeah. What does it take to actually kill regenerative people,
Yeah, yeah,
regenerative mutants?
yeah. But yeah, so
Which there are a few. There are actually a few of them.
yeah,
There's actually a whole slew of regenerative mutants, right?
yeah. There's a
It's,
lot of them, depending on what type of regenerative you're talking about.
yeah.
Like either regenerating body parts or regenerating, what was it? Or regenerating a whole human being. Well, with three there, like the
Oh,
what?
like mitosis, like you slice one in half, you grow two.
Well, no, what was it? It was in the House of X stuff and the all that new stuff
Oh yeah,
where
yeah,
where
yeah. The
where, where
clone,
was
the
these
DNA,
yeah
yeah.
where
Bring
these
them back
three
to life.
mutants, all it took was these three mutants and these golden eggs.
Yeah, yeah. Like if you
That's
have
the
the
last time.
DNA, you
Yeah,
could just regenerate them. That was a cool concept, I thought, from the House of X stuff.
she goes, I think I think Deadpool can grow anything back. So you would
That,
think,
no,
well,
that doesn't make sense, to be honest. Like, okay, the only way then you could kill them was to just incinerate them
no,
to
because
dust.
no, hold on. The only way to kill Wolverine was with a sword, with a special sword that had some type of special, I think special metal or something that cancels his, or the sword had some type of special power that cancels out his their healing abilities, and that's the only way to kill them. It's some
Okay.
type of, I forgot the sword name, but yeah, I remember somebody talking about like a sword, a special sword or something like that.
Yeah. I'm just thinking in nature, like certain animals can regenerate their entire body,
Yeah,
but if you're like something, the thing generating the cells themselves obviously can regenerate,
it's comic books. It doesn't need to be
but if it's a
explained.
brain, right, it's the brain controlling everything.
Yeah, I know, but you know how it goes. Me and you've been reading comic books long enough. It's just
I always
comic
try.
book
It has to make
logic.
sense to me sometimes.
No, no,
When
yeah,
a
me
comic
too.
book
But
gets too like,
convoluted.
when they try too convoluted, like too like kind of like
Yeah,
just accept it kind of thing.
yeah.
That's when the
But
comic
you know how
doesn't
it
work.
goes. If you read comic books long enough, that's how it is. Oh, you guys just accept this.
Just
This is what
accept it.
happens.
Ignore
Yeah,
science. Just
yeah.
forget it.
This is how it happens. Yeah, but that's how it. That's how. Anything else besides that?
Besides the Hulk announcement,
Yeah,
I mean that's big though. I kind of want to. We haven't even really explored what it would mean,
right,
like, um, because you have to have a winner out of this battle, right?
right.
If they do it like kind of like
A
Deadpool,
draw.
because Deadpool Wolverine was like a draw, right? And they end up
I have
being
a feeling
buddies at
that
the end.
they might do that because they don't want to kill off their money makers anyways. So they'll probably say it's, or they'll say it's an alternate version of each one of them. So that's how they're gonna get away with both. If one of them dies, is, oh, it's an alternate version of the Hulk, or it's the alternate version of
Yeah, I don't know if someone has to die, but someone definitely has to emerge as the winner.
victorious.
And
Yeah,
I
but
would put my money on Wolverine.
yeah.
right? Versus Hulk.
What?
Although a
Yeah,
lot of Hulk
but
fans would argue
but
Hulk
don't
would.
forget the Hulk's been around longer. So if it does, I won't be surprised if it does happen and Wolverine's gonna win because it might be a last hurrah for the actor that's playing the Hulk because
To go out killed by the Hulk, that would be cool.
yeah.
That would be an interesting one.
Yeah, or
I
both of
death
them.
by
You know what I mean?
CGI.
What the both of them somehow end up. It'd be interesting to see if both of them end up because they're both actors. If because all the original Avengers are retired or left.
Yeah, so
The
yeah, the Hulk. So which version of the Hulk would he be finding? Would he be finding
yeah,
what's the actor's name?
um,
Mark
Mark
Ruffalo,
Ruffalo or yeah, more or the other two.
Red Hulk
Yeah,
versus Wolverine. I
yeah,
mean, it's a Hulk versus Wolverine that
yeah,
you don't necessarily
yeah.
doesn't need to be green. Could be gray,
Yeah, could be red, could be
could be
purple,
red,
could be any
could be
color.
Christmas.
Yeah,
Well, it could be Christmas Hulk.
yeah, it could be. Oh yeah, it could be Smart Hulk, could be any Hulk. It don't matter. Could be a She Hulk. Yeah,
Could be She Hulk. I wouldn't mind that. Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be like a Ruffalo Hulk versus.
but like I said, if Ruffalo's gonna want to leave the franchise or whatever it is, they're gonna probably have him have you know Jackman
Yeah,
actually knock him out, knock him off. So to make
Delman
it
saying it should be a Lou Ferrigno Hulk. Lou,
that would be fun. That would be a funny one.
I bet you could do Lou Ferrigno Hulk with CGI. Like,
Yeah.
make him massive.
Yeah.
Like just keep his the Ferrigno face.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
That'd be interesting to
AI
see.
it.
That'd be I wouldn't mind
I'd
seeing.
buy that ticket.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Ferrigno. I mean,
That's right. That's what we're saying.
well,
Yeah, we might have seen Ferrigno.
yeah, but you don't know which Hulk it's gonna. You don't know because now the multiverse is open because of Deadpool, so you don't know which which Hulk they're gonna actually bring back. They could bring back any of them if
Or
they
bring
wanted
back like
to.
a Schwarzenegger Hulk.
Mm,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, because wouldn't you want to see like Arnold Schwarzenegger as like Hulk guy, right? Just make him.
Dude, just hearing the Hulk talk like Schwarzenegger would be funny. The chopper.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to like keep his voice out of it, but like make
Yeah, but
paint.
just imagine hearing the Hulk talk like a man. It's like it'd be weird. It'd be freaking weird. It'd be like
Arr!
or get to the chopper. It'd
All
be
right.
super. Honestly, it'd be super weird to have either or of them. I mean, but honestly, it's the multiverse is open, so they could bring back all three of those Hulks, either one, or have the Red Hulk fight them. So
Yeah. The thing about this is the success of Deadpool Wolverine, which was it grossed more money than anything Marvel's put out to this point, right?
Right.
So
and a rated R as the rated R movie
one too, right? So it's changed the calculus for Feige and Marvel.
Yep.
And Feige saying like, we're gonna milk Hugh Jackman.
Pretty
and
much.
The only way to milk Hugh Jackman is either bring him in as the MCU Wolverine, which doesn't make sense, right? Because he's a Fox holdover, right?
Yeah, and then you don't know,
or you bring him in as some kind of multiversal character to fight a multiversal Hulk, which I think is where they're kind of
it's where they're going, because if they're bringing Secret Wars here, so that's probably when it's going to happen, is during Secret Wars. It's a different version of the Hulk, it's a different version of Wolverine fighting each other, but they won't tell us if it's main universe or if it's some type of other, we pulled these two out of a different universe or whatever it is.
I do hope it's a standalone though. I don't think I
Right.
don't want it to be like Secret Wars where they just
I have a funny feeling it's
do a
gonna be
cameo
probably,
fight.
but I have a feeling it's gonna be like jammed in there, like you know how it's a big scene, you know how Thanos and how Captain America grabbed the hammer. It's gonna be something like that where where all these guys are gonna converge and all you're gonna see is these two main one, you know, like different, you know, they film different fights in different areas. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
I have a feeling that's what's
it's a
gonna happen. Is
convoluted
that's
mess right now.
right?
They
But I have
gotta
yeah,
create like a scenario where you can bring in like just I mean, just combine different franchises and
but that
mix
I
and
think
match
that's what's gonna
people.
end up happening is the Secret Wars thing is where they're finally gonna introduce that's maybe where they're gonna finally introduce the X-Men somehow. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
so
Because the X-Men haven't been introduced in the main universe yet. So no, so we don't know, you know. So
they
that's
may hold
maybe
out till
how,
after Secret Wars, right?
yeah, right, right.
That may be
Or during it where that we see Hulk and Wolverine, it's like, oh, that's, you know, that's a, you know, and then somebody's gonna mention it. Oh, that's isn't Wolverine an X-Men or whatever it is, and then like you said, next thing after that is gonna be something introducing them.
yeah, it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Um,
But Jackman's getting a lot older, so they're gonna have to figure a way to, you know, the way to
often.
either off him or either somehow figure a way him passing it on to somebody, or him, you know, or him like transferring it to another Wolverine, but it's not him, you know what I mean? It's somebody else.
I think I'm going to say something controversial here. I wouldn't
Hmm.
mind seeing.
Henry Cavill.
No. Well, actually, yeah, Henry Cavill will make a good Wolverine.
You've already seen him in the Deadpool. If you watch Deadpool movie,
Yeah, he's the biker
yeah,
Wolverine. I wouldn't mind seeing an AI version of Hugh Jackman to sustain that character.
right.
Just like make him young,
Mm.
make him CGI, and just keep Hugh Jackman as Wolverine for like at least till we're gone, till all the people who have known
Mm-hmm.
Jackman Wolverine are dead. Then you
Right.
can introduce the next generation. You know what I mean? Like I just
Yeah,
can't see
but
any young
if you
actor.
think about that, then because our generation is showing their kid, you know, their kids then everybody's gonna go, oh, that's the only Wolverine, and then they finally introduce a new guy, and they're gonna be like, huh?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is what it is, but I'm just saying, like, I
Mm.
can't see any new actor coming in and convincing everyone they're better than Jackman. It's just gonna go
Mm.
through a phase where you're just like,
Or they're gonna have Danny DeVito. He's the right height.
yeah, Danny DeVito would not make a good one.
No, I know.
Not at
I'm
his
messing
age right
around.
now. Even
No,
maybe
I'm
in his
messing around.
maybe when he was in his 20s, DeVito, like One Who Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, like a
Yeah.
20s DeVito might have pulled it off. But
No, yeah, but I was joking around because because in all honesty, he was the right height for him. If you really thought about it, but yeah, because because when Jackman came out as Wolverine, everybody was bitching about how tall he was. So it was like, and then you know, in Deadpool, they were making fun of it. They shrunk him, and it's like, well, that makes sense. Why why did they left him tall? Because it's like, that's a little weird to see him, you know, that short.
that's true. Yeah, he is sort of
Yeah, because
he's
I remember
he's
when he
supposed to be
first
short,
when
right?
yeah, when
But
he first came out, they first came out with him as well, everybody wasn't happy about it because of the how tall he was. And I'm like, oh, you guys are complaining about his height, but what about the way he acts? He acts just like him. So it's like that's the whole point.
yeah,
Is if he can act
that
like
movie
him.
was a smash hit. So I mean,
Hmm.
The people that were critical of that didn't get to say much after the movie
Right.
released. It was a
Right. But yeah, anything else major besides the Wolverine thing?
besides the Wolverine thing. Well, there's a couple. You know, we mentioned it here. I think they.
Oh yeah, the Denzel thing.
Oh no, not the Denzel thing. I was thinking of the Hush. Uh,
Mm,
Jim Lee put out a Hush uh, variant cover for the
mm.
Hush. I
For
don't know
for
if it's
hit.
a preview or re-release or something, but it's basically a Jim Lee variant of that. I think it's a prologue, not a prologue, but a preview to um, the Hush
The new.
sequel for Batman.
Okay. Yeah, I knew there was gonna be a sequel. It's just it took forever for this damn sequel to come. But
Yeah, and then yeah, there's more absolute like variant covers.
yeah,
There's that
there-
Trinity connecting cover
yeah,
that also went on.
there's gonna be more absolutes too. There's gonna be like more absolute characters too.
Yeah, Hush is
Yeah, Hush is actually a good
recommended. It's
storyline.
really good.
I enjoyed it when I read it.
It's not a long read either.
No,
It's rather you get through it pretty quickly. And there's a really like key Joker Batman battle.
I I just hated how long how big his damn nose is in it. How long it is in
Oh,
it. I'm like,
the Jim Lee Joker. Yeah.
yeah, Ghibli Joker. No, I mean sometimes Jim shrinks it, and then I don't mind it. But in the freaking Hush one, it's like, dude, if your nose is that freaking long and Batman don't hit you right in the freaking nose, because the nose is almost like as long as a finger.
Yeah,
Like,
he looks pretty grotesque. Jim's Joker looks pretty grotesque, right?
but I'm saying, but if your nose is that freaking big, the first thing I would be if I was Batman, I would be grabbing your damn nose and flipping you because that's how big your nose is. I would,
Gotcha.
you know, I I mean I love Jim's art, but Jim's Joker drives me nuts because how big his nose is almost as big as one of my finger almost. It's like,
Yeah.
ugh.
Jim really elongates the Joker, right? Makes him kind of this
Yeah, yeah,
scrawny, sort of elongated.
yeah. It's just funny the way he does it, but it's like it's a little weird at the same time. You're like, why would you? And everybody else is like normal, like their noses, everything else is proportionate.
Mhm.
But when he does, he exaggerates the Joker's features a lot more. I'm like, yeah, I understand why, but it's a little
Yeah.
weird.
Anything else catch your fancy during the week, comic book wise?
Not really. Just I heard a bunch of the absolute stuff coming, and then I thought that was interesting. That there's going to be a lot more absolutes since it's been successful with all the other characters.
Yeah,
So
it
there
looks
might,
like people love it. People are liking
yeah.
the
So
absolute.
I'll be surprised to see if there's going to be an absolute Titans. Absolute. It'd be interesting to see if there will be, if they're going to go absolute every single thing, like absolute Blue Beetle. You know what I mean? Just put absolute and then whatever the character is.
Yeah.
There's already absolute Superman. There's already absolute Wonder Woman. What's stopping them from going absolute this, absolute that? So
Nothing.
yeah,
It's going to be absolutely absolute DC.
yeah, or the absolute justice. You know what I mean? That I think that's what they're working their way up to is absolute Justice League. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, so if I'd be surprised to see that absolute Batman work with absolute Superman and absolute Wonder Woman. That'd be interesting to see how they're gonna work together. If they're gonna work their way up that to absolute, we're just predicting. I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but I'm just saying if it does, it'd be interesting to see. You read it and I've skimmed it a little and
I
seeing
haven't read
how
it.
this.
I've kind of I've heard
skimmed it.
about it enough
Yeah,
about it to know.
yeah. It'd be interesting to see them three to interact the way I've with the what I've heard. You know what I mean? It'd be interesting that well, we haven't we haven't read everything yet, so we don't know how he's gonna end up how these guys are gonna end up turning out towards the end of the run or whatever. So it'd be interesting to see if there's gonna be an absolute Green Lantern, absolute Aquaman, or absolute Flash.
Yep.
It'd be interesting to see what writing teams they're gonna get to write these guys,
Yeah.
the other guys.
There was another, I think, another confirmation that Tom Holland is going to. So Spider-Man 4 is going to have Venom.
Yeah, and he's gonna be in the the symbiote. I've heard rumors that it might happen.
That's the I don't know if it's I think it's a confirmed rumor, right? That Tom Holland in Spider-Man 4 it'll be like a Venom.
Hey, look, as long as it doesn't end up like Rainey's third one where we had dancing Spider-Man, we'll be okay. Or emo Spider-Man, we'll be okay.
We had what's his face from the 70s show.
Yeah, or we had emu Spider-Man, emo sad Spider-Man.
I think Tom Holland Spider-Man versus Venom makes sense. It makes sense because you're talking about a franchise already, Venom.
Yeah,
and you're talking about probably the biggest franchise Sony has, right? Sony has the biggest franchise. Sony has is Spider-Man.
It's Spider-Man, the one, because they got a partnership with Marvel.
Yeah.
Now there's going to be a Kraven movie coming. The Kraven movie's coming soon, so that's going to be another.
I don't think Kraven's going to be a hit, though. Do you think? Do you think it is?
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
I mean, if it does become a hit, I'll be surprised. But I wouldn't want them in the universe in general. It'd be a little weird to have them in the you know what I mean? To have them somehow end up in the mix.
Yeah.
Because the Morbius one wasn't good. The the Spider-Verse one or whatever it was, or that one, especially that one wasn't. Everybody hated the Spider one.
The what's her face?
Yeah. I can't think of it at the top of my head. But
Agatha Harkness or whatever.
No, it wasn't. It was Spider. What the heck is it? Madam Web. That's what it was.
Web. That's right.
Yeah, the Madam Web stuff was sucky.
That looks bad. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it was bad. People watched it and said it wasn't. It was one of the worst ones, and it wasn't even. Yeah, it was Sony. It wasn't even Marvel's. But everybody.
Sony just needs to give up. I think they should just give up their rights to Spider-Man.
But they're not because they know that's the only thing that's making money for them right now.
It's the money maker.
But because the other thing that's making money, for them is PlayStation. Is Sony PlayStation. That's the other thing that's on probably nothing else really because I haven't seen any Sony TVs in a while. So
well, so even the Spider-Verse stuff with Spider-Gwen, Spider-Verse stuff, that's all Sony.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's decent. That's the only their animated stuff is decent.
And that's what Marvel is like. That's what Marvel's pissed about. It's like you're not just taking Spider-Man. You're now taking Spider-Gwen. You're taking Miles Morales. You're taking this entire Spider-Versal section of Marvel.
And they can't do anything with it. if they don't release if they don't keep on releasing Spider movies, because then the rights will go back to Marvel if they stop releasing Spider-Man movies or something. There's something in the contract that says if either one of them stop doing it or something or another, the rights go back to whoever it is. And
Is that what it
so
is? Yeah, whatever
yeah,
it is, Marvel
yeah,
can't be happy, but
yeah,
or at least what? Not Marvel, but the Marvel Cinema Production Studio can't be happy.
yeah. But the Spider-Verse stuff was good. But the one thing is the guys that created that, they wanted to create a DC version of that. I forgot what the hell they wanted to do, but they wanted I think Green Lantern or something like that, or they wanted to do something with. I forgot what they wanted to do. I think they wanted to do some type of cartoon for DC. I forgot what it was, but yeah, they
Well,
wanted to do
DC already has a very healthy sort of
animated.
animated
Yeah,
straight to animation kind of
yeah.
universe or
But
market.
those guys wanted to write something for them, but I forgot what it was. But yeah,
Okay,
they wanted to
like
do
a Green
something for
Lantern
them.
type story.
Yeah, I think it was either a Green Lantern or something that that doesn't do well. They wanted to help boost it with their art style or whatever it
Yeah.
was.
I'm also going to say something somewhat controversial. I just don't think Sony does a good job with comic book movies. Other than Spider-Verse, I think Spider-Verse, but that's animated, right?
Yeah, that don't count. That doesn't count.
Because if you ask me, like, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man trilogy,
Right.
it was okay. I
Right.
wouldn't go out and say it was like the greatest thing.
Right.
I prefer the Andrew Garfield one. That was also okay. It wasn't great.
Right.
They got so many of the like small details wrong.
Right.
And then when they came out with the kid, Tom Holland, Spider-Man,
yeah, right.
With his, that Asian buddy.
Yeah, but that's actually Miles's buddy though. Yeah, that is it's from the other universe, and it's actually Miles. That friend is supposed to be Miles Miles' best friend.
Okay.
Yeah, in the comic books, it's Miles' best friend.
The whole Zendaya playing MJ and
right. Their version of MJ. Yeah.
The fact that he's like kind of like masquerading as an Avenger and all that. It just and to be honest, the MCU stuff also feels like none of it is like comic book.
Yeah, well, I agree with this one. Some of it's all some of their stuff is either really good or really shitty.
Yeah. I mean, MCU stuff too. Like MCU stuff, like
say MCU stuff. All the MCU stuff is the same thing. It's right now where how they're doing it is either really good, really bad, or right in the middle. It's subpar. You know what I mean? It's like it's not bad, and it's not good. It's not good, but it's right in the middle. There's there's like I said, there's it's like this.
None of it is like really origin accurate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
but not only that, but it's on their end anyways. It's their fault for creating this mess in the first place, for creating the whatever the MCU format is. It's their fault.
Yeah,
for
MCU, no X-Men. MCU, right? No Fantastic Four.
Right.
It's an Avengers-driven franchise.
Yeah.
With Iron Man at the helm.
Yeah, originally,
comic books.
Originally, all those characters were B-list. Originally, all those
of the equation, really.
Yeah. Now, not only that, but originally those characters were B to C to D-list characters originally.
Right.
Because Iron Man, Thor, and all those guys were not the great, were not the A-list ones. So
they had to put them in a team to keep them going, right?
Yeah.
Versus like the X-Men, Spider-Man. These are the
their main
Marvel, and they don't.
Their mainstays. But it's not their fault that in the 90s they were about to go bankrupt and they had to sell all the rights to all these different companies, and now Disney has to go hunting them all down and getting them all back. So now it's like,
Disney's
hey,
got to do that. To
yeah,
be
who
honest,
got who got the rights to this? Who got the rights to that? Here, give me
and
that.
I'm for a reset right now.
Right.
I don't need to see like Secret. I mean, I'd love to see a Secret Wars, but I want to
But
see the
the
Secret Wars
biggest
done
thing is,
right.
I think the biggest thing is they're working their way up to Secret Wars, and then like you said, it doesn't have to work up to Secret Wars to reset it, but right now they're working it up to there, and then that's how they're going to
You think
reset it.
Secret Wars will be the reset?
Yeah, the Secret Wars thing is going to be the reset. It's going to be like, oh, Doom, whatever's, yeah, and then it implodes, and then hey, this now we can play
Here's the
with
new, yeah.
whatever.
Here's Spider-Man. Everybody in
Yeah.
where they need to be.
Right. Oh,
Yeah.
and the X-Men's always been like they're gonna figure out a way. Oh, X-Men's always been here. These guys are always been, these Fantastic Four's always been here. You just haven't noticed them more.
And that's the thing. Like, why are they introducing Fantastic Four now if they're going to do that? If they're
Right.
going to like blow up the whole thing, then to save Fantastic Four for that, like that.
But
moment.
I'm thinking it's gonna be Fantastic Four having a they're the push pin to push it to that point. They're the ones that get them to that point. Maybe, I don't know. I'm just guessing. We're just really guessing,
just
really.
theorizing, but
Yeah.
we want to see it consistent. Yeah, right. We're burning out on all the MCU, DCU resets.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna do something, just create it. Like, I don't see why people just can't be so comic book accurate. Why can't you be comic book accurate? Just tell the origin story the way it was told in the comics in a modern way. That's
Right.
what they did with the original Spider-Man,
Right.
Raimi Spider-Man. When he did the origin of Spider-Man,
Yeah.
he kept
He
the
updated
Peter
it.
Parker being bit by the radioactive spider,
But he
kind of being
updated it a little, yeah.
jerk until his uncle Ben died, and then it made him realize I have to be Spider-Man, right? That whole, they kept that core of the story right with MJ,
Right.
although they left the Gwen Stacy portion out, but I like the way they did that. Like,
Right.
I wish,
But because I think the main reason they left Gwen out was because don't get me wrong, a lot of people know him for Gwen too, but at the time when they were doing it, more people knew MJ than Gwen at the time. So it was
well,
like,
I don't fault them for going with
yeah,
MJ
yeah,
and leaving Gwen out. I'm just saying,
right.
like, it's
They
hard
had
to
yeah,
merge 80, whatever, 170 years of
yeah,
comic book history into a
2-hour or 3-hour movie.
2-hour,
Something
yeah, like origin story. But what you can do though is try to keep it as relatively accurate so that you don't have to go back and explain stuff.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Vertigo or
the
Image type
foundation
stuff out.
correctly.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about the house or whatever, like
Right.
having any cracks. If the foundation is strong, and you
Right.
have to establish that with a good, and that's what I loved about the Batman, who's the director, Christopher Nolan Batman, right?
Yeah,
The Christopher
yeah, yeah.
Nolan Batman, the origin story was there.
Right.
He understood the project and said,
Right.
we're going to tell the Bruce Wayne story,
Right.
and then that's going to lead to the Batman, and all the other pieces will fall together. So as long as you're true to the character, their origin, and the main supporting, cast and characters,
Yeah.
everything will fall into place.
Yeah.
Don't make it like, oh, the origin story had this character in it, but we have to replace that character because no one cares about. No. That character was put there for a reason. Do not mess with the comic book accuracy of that. That's just my whole point. Like,
Right.
people take these creatives, they come in they read the comic book and think they understand what's going on. No, you got to read 80 years worth of comic book history and make that call. You can't just take some modern writer's take on what they want to do new with the character and think that's the character. No.
Right.
Not everybody likes modern takes on character.
Yeah, that's what they did with the Fantastic Four, the last alteration of it, where the producing guy goes, "Hey, don't read it in the comics. It's not going to be that." Yep, and it was straight crap, and everybody said that was straight crap.
Yeah, you can't tell the story of Doctor Doom in 2 hours.
Right.
You can't establish who Doom is with just
Right.
like he got transform, like his face got all messed up. He's actually more complex than Batman. So if you're gonna do an origin story on a guy like that, you either have to infer it or you have to actually spend time, crafting it. But that's a challenge.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get to our books. We're gonna get to the Spec. Yeah.
So I'll do recommendation first.
Oh, you want to do rec first? We always go with Spec first.
Oh, Spec first. Okay, Spec first. Okay. I always forget. I forget. I'll Spec on this. Saga 1. Because, Saga 1.
Beautiful.
Yeah, the main reason, it's Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona. I always forget her name. I think it's Fiona. I always think it's Staple, but I don't think it's. I know it's Fiona something. I just can't remember it off the top of my head. Oh yeah, I am right. It was Staples. Staples.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But so this is gonna be updated version of Romeo and Juliet. So it'd be kind of cool. Warren. What is it? Warren peoples. You know what I mean? Different races. So it'd be interesting to see. And then the two races have a kid. So it'd be interesting to see.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing something animated. I overheard. I think they said they were working on something animated now, or
so this project, it's been kind of in
limbo for a while.
Have you heard anything about? Are they
moving
forward with it? Okay.
Nothing. I haven't heard nothing, but I wouldn't mind seeing something animated. But I mean, because it'd be hard for them to tell it in movie form because all the stuff that happens in this thing, so it'd be a little weird to have it. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing it in live action, but animated, it'd be cool.
That's a big book, by the way, because it's like that's a low print. First issue.
Yeah, and that was one on my list. So for a while, and I finally got.
That was minty fresh too.
Yeah, and I finally got one from the friends ended up pitching in and got me one. So, like Sweet. Always, yeah. Well, what's yours?
All right, my first book is X-Men. What is this? 53. It's the first appearance of Onslaught.
Oh yeah.
And
Professor X's alter ego.
That's right. The sort of the amalgamation of Magneto
and him
and Professor X.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a really sort of like, Onslaught is the consequence of Professor X mind zapping or erasing Magneto's psyche, which was a result of Magneto draining the adamantium out of Wolverine, right? So it was this domino effect of cause and effect.
Right.
And so I thought it was, at the time, was just a brilliant way to bring in this very terrifying uh, antagonist. And Onslaught is really sort of, if you look at the scope of villains the X-Men have faced, right? Onslaught is pretty much one of the, quote unquote, most
Hardest
powerful.
ones. Yeah, one of
Yeah,
the powerful and one of the hardest ones they had to face. Yeah.
right. And I don't, to be honest, I don't know what season two. So the reason
Yeah,
I'm
for the
speaking on
X-Men
this
'97. I know.
X-Men
That's cool.
'97, it's coming
Yeah.
season two, and in season two, all the Easter eggs for Apocalypse are there.
Right.
Um, but I think if you're going to see a season three, if we're looking ahead to a season three, which I think they've already signed on for two additional seasons, right? So we were going to get season three no matter what.
Right.
Who's the big baddie in season three then, right?
Right.
You're going Apocalypse. What?
Yeah, I would think Onslaught would be the next one. You
It
would
would be the
think.
next one, right? It's the only one that makes sense in terms of
Right.
escalation
Right.
For baddies. So yeah, and I'm really curious to see how they do it, because I think Age of Apocalypse is going to be one of the hardest things to pull off in an animated series. But if
Yeah.
you're going to do it, having the animated, so having like like kind of like a timeline sweep, right, which is kind of
Right.
what they need to do, and introducing all these like post-apocalyptic type characters in that world. That's, I mean, I guess it's doable. It's not the most impossible thing to do, but you got to kind of build up to it. Onslaught, on the other hand, though, is very easy to do, right? You just have to set up a sequence of what we just referred to, like, like an event where Magneto and Xavier kind of
duke it out,
and Charles wipes him out. That kind of consequence to form Onslaught would make sense. And man, he is terrifying in these first couple of issues.
Yep.
When you don't know what it is, and you just know, like, man, it's this like, it's basically like evil Charles Xavier, right? With all these like carnal sort of thoughts and desires and all that. It's just, it was truly taking like the character to like a new low.
Right.
When they introduced him. All right, rec book.
Rec book. It is Lady Killers. Lady Killers. Rec book.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's about Lady Killers is about what was it? I think she's a hired gun assassin, but she's her undercover thing is she's a housewife, 50s housewife pretty much, and she sells Tupperwares, but she gets she gets cases, she gets, well, not cases, but she gets hired for assassinations and type stuff, and pretty interesting book. So yeah, cool. And then she has to clean it up. So, like you said, the Tupperware comes in handy.
Yeah,
yeah, that's mine.
That's your rec book.
Yeah, rec book. Yep.
So does that come in like a serial, or is it a collected issue?
This is collected, but they're single issues of this thing. So, but cool. I just I like whenever I recommend stuff. I like
art is really cool in that.
Yeah, collected edition. Yeah, so yeah, art's pretty neat. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah.
Oh yeah, art's really neat.
Yeah. That's the main reason that caught my attention. The covers caught my attention. The art caught my attention.
Cool.
So, yeah. So that's the recommendation book. Your recommendation?
My rec book, The Incredible Hulk 454. Now, this is not really a spec book; it's just a rec book,
Right.
and we mentioned Wolverine, Hulk,
Right.
coming to the big screen, so it's going to draw a lot of interest in all those like past battles or past covers where they're battling. And I just think this is a really cool one to have. It was definitely a cover buy for me when I got it, and that's this beautiful cover by Adam Kubert, not to be confused with Andy, his brother. Both are the sons of DC legendary artist Joe Kubert, who did Sergeant Rock for all those years and different DC characters along the way. But yeah, I love this cover because when you shift it as a landscape, it just looks even better.
Oh yeah, yeah. It looks like they're fighting, fighting up straight, not falling.
It's meant to be a landscape kind of cover. Right. And I just love Kubert. Adam is Andy and Adam are great, but if you were to say, because Adam did a lot of the Wolverine stuff, he did covers like this, and I just think Adam's the better the artist I preferred of the two, and this is just freaking goodness. And that's yellow costume versus purple pant Hulk classic versions, and that is a serious rec book right there. All right, your flex book. And you always outflex me, so I'm just curious to see what you have this week.
I got a Italian digest version of Vampy, and it has and it's Italian version, and I got this from actually friend of Varangian Vigilante. So
is that Vampy 1 in Italian? No,
it's a collected edition. It's like a digest of stories. So it's and this is I think there's only 2 copies in the U.S. I know one copy is with Sarah Frazetta, and then I have the other. I have this copy.
No way.
Yeah. So
Is that right?
Yeah, because So that I know of, that I don't, that the only 2 people that have it. It's me and Sarah. Yeah. And it's
Lillian, but
no, she actually Varangian actually sent it to her. Our friend actually sent it to her.
Oh, okay.
Yes, they sent me one, and as soon as he found one for me, for her, and then he goes, as soon as I find one, another one, I'll send it to you. So he found one.
Yeah.
So
I've got to admit, Vampy 1 is on my list of things that I want for the collection.
Right.
So hopefully one day.
Yeah.
I think I need to get it before it really.
Yeah, really spikes.
Rockets, right?
Yeah, but the funniest thing is if you put the translator up to this, it says "bite me, please" in Italian.
Bite, please.
Yeah, that's what it says. Yeah, because I put the translator up to it, then that's what it says. But it's kind of neat to have a digest version of some of the stories, and it has some of Jose's art on the back of it. Gonzalez.
Nice.
So Gonzalez's art's in the back. So yeah.
All right, I'm glad you mentioned Jose Gonzalez, because we're going to get into an artist feature, right?
Yeah, we're gonna get into artist feature about Jose Gonzalez, and you still got to show your flex book real quick.
Well, my flex book is transitioning right into that. My flex book is Wonder Woman 72. Beautiful Brian Bolland art, and so we're going to feature one of Jeff's favorite artists,
Jose Gonzalez, and you're going to Bolland.
And I'm getting things started here with my flex book on, obviously, there's no words to describe. Sometimes just the best way to feature an artist is just for you to have, just for you to show their artwork, because nothing you can say would be more descriptive than the actual visuals, right? And that's what I'm doing here. I'm just showing you one of the best Wonder Woman covers of all time, in my opinion. I think so. I love George Perez. Don't get me wrong, and I think George Perez, his work on Wonder Woman, is legendary, iconic. It really establishes the character on that volume 2, right? Um, the history, the depth of the character, and he just such a amazing run on that in terms of writing and the artwork. But that's like a big but, because you're talking about a legend in George Perez. The person to uh, succeed him on the run in terms of the artwork is Bolland, and Bolland does a tremendous job, almost 40 issues, um, not of internal work, just like cover artwork, because Bolland was a very popular artist during this period. Um, but man, he just knocks it out of the park with the covers. It's just incredible
Yep.
artwork here. So yeah, there
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah. Boland's work is cool. Yeah, but like a lot of people don't know a lot about Gonzalez because Gonzalez died in 2009. And well, he was born in the what is it? Uh, so he was born in uh Barcelona, somewhere 1939 in Briar Chino, Barcelona, and
Okay.
and it was a poor neighborhood. Pretty much, it was known for crime and prostitution. So you know what I mean. Not the greatest to grow up in, but he was a great artist. He was 17 when he got discovered by another cartoonist. What the cartoonist was walking by. Yeah. So yeah, the cartoonist was walking by, saw him do a piece of artwork by uh, Marilyn Monroe and Judy Garland, I think it was, and it was so eye catching that he actually walked into the shop and asked the ladies that worked at the clothing, I think it was a clothing store or like a boutique or some type of boutique or whatever, and had asked who did the artwork, and one of the ladies goes, "Oh, that's my young son, Jose had did the piece of art." And they introduced him to Jose. Jose met him, and then Jose ended up going to work for a insurance company for a little while, for being an apprentice in an insurance company. Then the artist, that artist that saw him came to look for him and said, "Hey, my boss Joseph Tutain wants to see you from SI from in Spain," and it was one of the bigger companies for comic books in Spain at the time. And he goes, "All right," and goes sees him, and he was 17 when he had got hired on, so he was pretty much a ghost artist and writer type thing for a little while before he ended up getting bigger. But what he's known for is Vampirella stuff. What he's known for, that's what he's known for. But he's done a bunch of other stuff, a bunch of English romance comics, a bunch of cartoon like some Marvel magazines that he's done before Vampy. But what he's known for is gothic, making her gothically beautiful and sexy and whatever. But the one other thing is that he hated drawing. He hated art in general. He didn't like it he liked it uh, at a point, and then he hated it at a point. But that's all. I noticed that's all great artists. Yeah, that's all great artists that they they like drawing, but they hate drawing at the same time. And but the biggest thing was with him that he would get bored with doing stuff, and then he would jump to something else to do something else. Like he left the Vampy strip at night. Well, he didn't start the Vampy strip until he was 32. Got to it until he was at 32. But that was crazy that that what he's known for, he didn't get to it until he was 32. You know what I mean? Like he was known for pencils. He was known for, but he was most known for one of his famous. Everybody that knows, if you guys seen Vampy before, is the bat. Is the one where she's holding her hand out and the bat's flying off her hand. That's one of his. Yeah, that as soon as you see it, that's one of his. But he actually drew the idea up, and he actually had a model and everything. Yeah, there was a model that actually modeled for them for this. So it's kind of neat that that actually the model wasn't even his model. It was another friend's model, and he asked.
Do you have that cover to show that specific?
Yeah, let me bring it up real quick.
Oh no, I mean a book. Do you have that book?
Yeah, I have it. I just let me bring it up real quick. It's on. I got it up here right now. So give me 1 second. I'll bring it right up. And it is issue 19. And hold on. Let me share the screen real quick. So it is this issue 19. You can see it, right?
That's nice.
Yeah, this is it. This is the one I'm talking about. It's where he has the hat.
I actually want that one.
Yeah, that's 19. So this is there, but there's a because this is where you could order the poster from. Was this issue where you can order this poster? So it didn't have all the covers behind it. It's just a white background in it, and it's her standing with that bat. But the biggest thing with that was this actually got set. If you look at her knees, the knees got repainted. If you look at the one of the original paint, like the original poster, you can see, like, if you really look up close, because Inrich Torres actually talks about it in his book, where he got sent that image, or where they sent it to James Warren, where he sent it with their boss Joseph Tutane, sent it off to the Warren guys. They looked at it, and first thing James Warren said, she's not tall enough. So they had to redo the knees, yeah, and make her taller. So that's why the knees look like she has like double knees on the, if you look at the knees, it looks like
I was thinking like she's got some janky knees there.
Yeah, that's the whole reason, because they had to repaint the knees. So that's the famous story behind this, is that Inrich was the one that actually painted it for Jose, because Jose couldn't oil paint at the time. He couldn't oil paint at all. Like his oil painting was not the greatest. Yeah, so his oil so he wasn't the greatest at oil painting or any of that, but this is what he was not like. First issue of his run was issue 12. And I'm gonna bring, since I'm sharing the screen already, you guys probably can see it. Give me 1 second. Yeah, let me reshare the screen again, and put issue 12 up. And this is issue 12, and the cover is by St. Julian. So covers by St. Julian, and then the Vampy story is this one. The Vampy story is by him though, so it'd be right. That's why I'm taking you guys right here. This is his first. This is his first ever panel for Vampy. Yeah,
that's nice.
Yep. Yeah, so that's his artwork there. So
can you show the panels? There you go.
Yep, that's what I'm doing. See, so this is what he was known for doing, was to make her like a lot more human or whatever it was, a lot more.
With that beautiful shading, man.
Yeah, that's what he was known for, was the shading part of it. Was his pencils were great. Like there's a 3 panels of her.
Yeah. And yeah, that's just a beautiful Vampirella right there.
Yeah. But that's what he was known for, like gothic beauty types. Like he was known for drawing beautiful women in general. So yeah. So that was this is most of his first, like the first issue that he's did. But one of the famous ones that people know him for was the other one, was 13. Was issue 13. So was this issue here. So I'm bringing 13 up now. So was issue 13. But you guys are gonna recognize it because I had the cosplayer recreate it. So this is the issue right here, is the famous panel, the big panel, is this one. Yep, this one.
Nice.
Yeah, that's the panel that I had recreated. Yeah, so that's one of the famous panels that he's known for. Like just look at how realistic she looks. You know what I mean? It's like that's what he was known for, was like. But my favorite issue is issue 50 of his run, But he left for a little while too. He left in 1973 to open up his own publishing company. So, and then he left and then came back like at issue 50. I think issue 50 was that when he came back and started doing stories again. So he left for a little while. Yeah. So these are mostly his, like the women that he's done, you know. So it's like,
wow.
Yeah. See, that this is the stuff that he's done. But like I said, the issue 50 is one of my favorites, though. Yeah. So issue 50, I'll share the 50 now and show you guys why. Like this panel here, like
nice. Wow.
Yeah. See, that's. And this is him introducing Panthera, but this is one of my favorite panels out of 50. And then he was known for doing like stuff like this, you know, like all this is him. Like how you see how realistic the face looks in some of these panels. So like this one. And then he did this right here. So there's a colored page that he did, like this one right here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So yeah. And there's like all the early issues has her have a bat on her right on her boob and whatever. But that whole reason why it was there was to see if they would notice, to see if Joseph Tutane, James Warren would notice them putting a bat on her. And then nobody said nothing. Nobody said anything about it, like with the bat on her. If you look at some of the early ones, they put a little bat just to mess with James Warren and everybody else. Like this is Gonzalez's work here, so it's like that, like this, that. See, this is what he was known for, like stuff like this. Yeah. Yeah, like the face here. So, yeah.
Super.
Yeah, like that type of stuff. That's the main reason I like his type of artwork is different.
Well, to kind of delve deeper into Bolin was born in Lincolnshire, England,
Mm.
in
See,
1951.
I didn't know bowling was in English at all.
He's English, yeah.
Yeah.
And let me show you kind of what got. So Bolin, of course, was doing comic work in England, and what really got him sort of recognition was on Eagle Comics work, and his work on Judge Dredd.
Mm. Oh
Now,
yeah.
Judge Dredd was sort of a collaborative effort from the artists in this studio, Eagle Comics, that included writers like Alan Moore, Alan Grant, artists like John Wagner, Dave Gibbons, and I'm forgetting another artist here, but all UK artists. And this is kind of the stuff they were putting out. Well, these are the books they were putting out around Judge Dredd, but this is all Bolland right here in terms of the artwork. But yeah, I guess I could show some of the internal work here that just to show the different creatives that we're working on the book here. Much like the artwork you saw there in the Vampy stuff, this is script by John Wagner, art by Ron Smith. Beautiful panels there. Just a lot of detail. And this really, this kind of comic book set the stage for all these creatives to do work here in America for DC and Marvel. Actually, more on the DC side. Bolin started doing work at DC, on titles like Justice League of America, like a cover like this. But I think what really made him like a household name was one specific book that he did with, and this was sort of the British invasion at the time, during the 80s, when all these British writers and British artists were crossing over to American comics. But Alan Moore, Brian Bolland, artwork on The Killing Joke. And if you're a comic book fan and you haven't read The Killing Joke, then you gotta go and do your homework. Killing Joke is one of the most just demented Batman stories, Joker stories.
I agree with that one.
Yeah, it really sets a new bar and tone for the Joker's origin, and also sets in motion like Barbara Gordon's paralysis, and yeah, it's a warped comic book. And I got my 9/6 Brian Bolland signed first print Killing Joke here, Flex book as well. But yeah, Brian Bolland has gone on to do so much in the comic book industry, mostly cover work though. That's the thing about a great comic book artist. Like, you have your Neil Adams, you have your Jim Lees, you have your, a lot of these artists, they're so stretched because they're so talented and they're so stretched. They're oftentimes kind of revert to being just like a cover artist to sell comic books, to market stuff. And definitely he was put into that role at DC, and he was kind of stayed in that role for a very long time, doing mostly cover artwork. But you have those gems where he's doing internal artwork as well. And I think if you're fortunate enough to get a Brian Bolland interior with like a, like an Alan Moore story, um, or like a John Wagner story, Alan Grant story. You're very fortunate to be witnessing um, a true comic book legend in his natural, setting and environment where he's creating the panel story versus and he's a great cover artist as well. Don't get me wrong. These are some more covers that he's done. Love this Bolland Superman and Wonder Woman. Winter's Edge. He did a lot of stuff for Vertigo as well.
Yeah, because Vertigo had a bunch of the like you said, the English writers and artists.
Yeah.
At the time, yeah.
So just great stuff all around. And you talk about just legends during my time period, people
right
who have really left a lasting mark. Bolland, and Bolland for me hasn't always been my favorite. It's been one of those things where I go back and look at his work and I realize, wow, why did I not notice this sooner? Right? Kind of like Jose, I have a newfound appreciation for Jose Gonzalez now. And you wanted to share with people what made Jose also very unique, right? His background.
Yeah, and he was pretty much he was the first. A lot of people don't know that he was the first open gay man in Spain in comic books for drawing, whatever it was. And then he opened, and he was in a band. He did all kinds of stuff before, you know what I mean? He was in a band, he got bored, and then like the band was about to get signed with a contract and whatever, and he got bored and left it. Same thing with the with the Vampy thing. He left it at 1974, came back at issue 50 was his comeback issue. He left for a little while, so he did 13 to 20 to 30, I think, and then he left for a little while, came back, issue 50, and then kept on going. And there's six stories that he written. The seventh one was never published. There were 6 other stories that he did, and number 7 was never published. Or there was 6 stories, and then he had one story. Well, he had 6 stories that were published, and then he had one that wasn't. So it was called Rathmore's Curse. That's what that was called. Rathmore's Curse. And then Carla, and then the model for issue 19's that poster was Carla Sultry. That's what the model's name was. That was the modeled after Carla Sultry. And let's see, what else did I wanted you guys to know. And then he was a recluse. He liked to be by himself. He didn't mind having friends over and stuff like that. He didn't mind, but he hated. So he wouldn't. I think he would, if he was still around, he would never go to cons, because he would be, he likes to keep to himself pretty much. Well, but that's a lot of artists.
That's the thing about Bolland. He lives in England, right?
Yeah.
And he's one of the hardest artists, I think, to. I mean, I'm sure he's doing a lot of connectivity there in England, London,
right,
and the likes, but you rarely see him stateside, signing books and doing stuff. Right. So, my hope one day is that he'll come to Seattle, just because he had, I don't know, maybe family or something, or friends out here, and he does the con out here. But I would really love to meet him and get some books signed and all that. That'd be the ultimate, I think, one of the ultimate things on my comic book bucket list, right?
So he died. Yeah. So the date he died on was the 13th of March. Was Gonzalez passed in 2009, and then the other thing was that he didn't come back to writing, to actually drawing her until actually I was wrong. It wasn't issue 50. It was 100 and on Vampy 103 is when he left, I think. Oh no, came back to Vampy in 1983 on 100 and issue 103. So that's when he came back. So I'm assuming the some of those issues previous to it, like issue 50 and all those, were like that he already had done. You know what I mean? And he left until 1983. So he left for a little while, but he didn't leave for long. But he left for a little while, and then yeah, and then he only did commissions of Vampy. He didn't do anything else after that. And he had a ghost artist. If he couldn't get stuff done, yeah, he had a ghost artist. It was Victor.
Well, let me ask you:
Rommel.
Was Gonzalez? He was not really, because back he's one of the older artists, but there was a con scene there between his death and kind of, I guess, mid 90s when he was still doing some work.
But I don't think he would, because he was more, like I told you, he liked to keep to himself a lot. So I don't think he would have. He may have gone to cons, maybe,
right.
but I would think cons would set him off like uncomfortable. You know what I mean?
So
the way that like the way the books explain, like the book explaining how his personality was, I think cons would have been like not good for him at all.
Now you have a signed book by him, right? You have a signed book by him.
Yeah, but that was the only way you could have got that one was if you sent away for it, if you mailed away for in the magazine.
Yeah,
that was the only way to get. My
point is, like, there's not a lot of signatures,
right? Unless you get one of his original pieces. That's the only way to get something signed.
Right. It's not like he did cons and did comic signings, right?
Right. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure, but you know. I think so.
In Spain, how many cons are you going to per year?
Right.
Probably.
Yeah, Barcelona at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he would.
And that's the same thing with Ballin, right? Ballin's one of those artists. Like, you'd expect there to be a lot of his signed books around, but he's kind of in the same boat. He doesn't do cons. He doesn't do these like signing events. He does them, but they're very, few and far between. So when you talk about, like, first of all, there's very few, I think, signed Vampirella books that you could get by Jose Gonzalez.
Yeah, well, it's like 200 and like 200 and something books, I think.
Yeah,
that's those hardcovers are signed. Yeah, so
you can definitely find Ballin signed stuff on eBay right now.
Right. But Gonzalez signed stuff is harder to come by.
Probably impossible, right?
Yeah. But Jose Gonzalez had 7 new Vampy stories that were in the queue that were supposed to get done. Only 6 before Warren went bankrupt. So there was one story that was unpublished. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so there was one, and that story was called The Rathmore's Curse.
Okay.
So yeah, so for some reason that he sent it off, but a lot of people don't know where that piece is, where the original for Rathmore's Curse is. Like, the original was lost for a little while, and then I think they said it ended up in a personal collection, and they ended up finding it, and it's actually printed in his art book. That it actually has a couple of pages from it, and it was supposed to be like a little story from 109 all the way up to 113. Was supposed to go up to 113, 109. Like, he had a bunch of art done for all the way up to, like, it was like, if they didn't go bankrupt, it was supposed to go past 113 or 112. Anyways, it was supposed to go past it. I forgot how many issues passed, but it was supposed to. Yeah. Yeah, his legacy is pretty much Vampirella. That's pretty much what it is. It's like he's done a bunch of other stuff too, but that's what he's known for.
Yeah, and that's kind of unfortunate because
but he was super talented though, but he was because one of his first works was a sister comic book of cartoon. He did some cartoons for for yeah, for Marvel. Marvel, it was a sister comic book, and then it was one of those their magazine ones that, and he did some art for them. It was like cartoon type stuff. So that's kind of cool to know. So those are probably harder to come by because a lot of people didn't know who he was at the time. So those books are probably harder to come by than his Vampy stuff. His Vampy stuff is all over. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He did a bunch of issues of those. So
Yeah.
yeah,
When you
so
look at Gonzalez's talent, there's no reason why he couldn't have been
right,
on Ballin's,
right,
on Ballin's level of
right.
uh, notoriety in terms of just comic book art. Like,
But like I was telling you, a lot of the good artists, Boland's a good artist too. But I'm just saying, a lot like the Frazettas, like Jose, like like Inrich, like Saint Julian, those guys. It's like they're great, but like I told you, they're not. They don't. They
they don't
like
like
doing
work.
art. Yeah, they know they're good, so it's like they hate working, but they know it, they're good at it, but they hate it at the same time. They love it and hate it at the same time, but they would rather go do something else. Like he was in a band. Who would expect him to be in a band? You know what I mean? Like in a
Right.
band, and then his nickname was Popo or Poppy or something like that. Like because it was Jose Poppy Popo Gonzalez or something like that. You know what I mean? But a lot of people didn't call him Jose. A lot of people call him Popo Gonzalez or whatever. So a lot of his later stuff had Poppy Gonzalez or Popo Gonzalez, something like that. I forget the Poppy Popo or something like that. Yeah, so it's interesting to know that he was the one of the first open gay men in comic books. That's another interesting thing that I completely forgot about. And then when I reread the his art book, I'm like, oh, there's a bunch of stuff about him that's really cool, really interesting. You know what I mean? It's like he's a he's a great artist, like a lot, but that's what he was known for like for the females. But what caught James Warren's attention was all the pretty females that he did, like the artwork he did, like the Marilyn like that. What caught that cartoonist's eye was the Marilyn Monroe he did. It was because like that artist said it that's a dead ringer for Marilyn, like portrait type style. I was like, so I could imagine what his pencil like his pencils are crazy. Like they said, his penciling, his shading. You saw what his shit, like what most of it looked like. So
I'm telling you, if he had like joined, let's say Marvel or DC, I mean,
right.
he would have been one of the.
He did. Actually, he did. Well, his boss came out here with a portfolio, and none of those guys wanted to give him the boss any attention. And he went to Warren, and Warren goes, if honestly, I don't. Even James Warren says this. He don't think Vampy would have freaking made impact if it wasn't for Jose and all these other Spanish artists, Gonzalez, Inrich. Not if none of these guys, if Joseph Tutane and Warren did not meet that fateful day that he came and then he was about to leave the office. Actually, he was about to leave the Warren office. It was locking up, and he goes, "I had a dinner date with somebody," and he completely forgot about the dinner date. Him and Tutane were talking for so long, and Tutane gave him the portfolio to look. He had first thing he saw was Jose's work, and he said, "Who's this artist that draws females, this great or whatever?" And then he saw Enrich Torres's work. Then he saw St. Julian's work, and he hired him on for that stuff.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, but a lot of them didn't like, you know what I mean? A lot of them had, like a lot of big artists, a lot of good artists that could do art, hate art at the same time. So it's kind of funny that every art book I've read so far that's big artists that are like legends all all hate doing it. they would rather go play baseball. They'd rather go do something besides art. So that's always fun to read. But that's pretty much it about Jose and Boland. I mean, these guys are great. So we're probably gonna have a we're probably gonna have a spotlight on artists every week. So mine's probably gonna be Inrich Torres next week, maybe, depending on if I can read enough about Inrich Torres. Then I mean I know enough, but I'm gonna try to read up on him a little more and learn a little more about him. But then so I can do something like this again to tell you guys about him. So that'd be kind of cool to let you guys know about all the covers he's done. Yeah.
Yeah, Miss Still brings up a great point. I think people, whether you get into drawing and perfecting that as a passion, but then when it becomes a career, when you actually have to output and create a certain volume of work, especially comic books have such tight deadlines that you need to really collaborate and bring the story to the frame by frame, right? You can get burnt out. That career can burn you out. And so not to say Jose Gonzalez got burned out, but I could just
Jose would tell you himself he got burnt out. That's why he left. That's why he left and opened his own little thing.
Yeah.
But then if he couldn't finish something, Joseph Tutain would have somebody his ghost artist for him. Like somebody to actually help him out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was kind of neat to find out that he did some of the work, but when he got tired about it. Yeah.
It's more Boland stuff for you.
Yeah. Boland stuff is cool too. I like good art. You know what I mean? I'm more of an art guy now than anything. But we both are. Like we're more art people than anything.
Yeah, I got to get more Gonzalez stuff. I definitely want to get that Vampy 19 now, the one with the Vampy 1. Because I was like, if I can't own the Vampy 1 cover, at least I'd have a comic book with the Vampy 1 cover in it.
Yeah. 19 is the best. Yeah, 19 would be the best one because 19 has all the
she has janky knees in that one. I don't like Vampirella with janky knees.
Yeah. That's the only problem with that.
I see that now, the error in the knees.
No, yeah, but that's in the painting in general because I blame that on Warren for saying she wasn't tall enough. That's all Warren's fault that he said she wasn't tall enough and then that one. But yeah. But you could always get, because the other thing is, because this was a special issue too. Super special issue. It was the bigger issue. And the other thing is it might be a little expensive because it's a famous pose, but depending on what grade you want it at, you know what I mean? So but it's not too bad. Yeah. It's not bad. It's like the highest I ever seen it was at like 100. That was the highest I ever seen it. Yeah. But depending on what you want it for, and let's see.
My dream is to just find a Vampy 1, like sitting somewhere for like $10. That's my dream.
Yeah, that's not, dude. Well, you could buy it back then for $3. Right now it goes for $5 to $1,000 depending on what grade is it. But if it's a raw one, then you probably get it for maybe $5 to $6, or depending on how much these guys want to charge you, could be $9 depending on what grade it's in. But if it's a low grade one, probably like $5 or $6 maybe, and that's on low grade end.
Jeff, you muted yourself.
Trying to figure out what the artist's name was. His ghost artist, Victor Ramos, was the ghost artist that would help out Jose. Like if Jose couldn't reach a deadline, they would pass it to Victor, and Victor would finish it off for him. So like
he had like a ghost assistant.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So yeah. So a lot of those guys in yeah, a lot of those guys in Spain had it like that. Like Inrich would like have like have somebody. A lot of them would have some or what was it? There was another one called yeah. So yeah, there's a bunch. Like he had Victor like Victor. One thing about Victor's talent was Victor could copy anybody. Like they would pass it to Victor, and Victor would be able to mimic mimic his or Enrich or depending on whoever it was, he could mimic it. The other thing was that he was when he was 17, Joseph Tutain had him copy like a Western comic book like Western comic book panels from another artist. They said Jose copied it from stain to stain. Like there were like ink stains on it. Jose even put the ink stains back in the on his thing. Like everything looked just like whatever the panel he got from them. It was like crazy. But that's pretty much the Jose thing. Jose story was that he passed away in 2009. That and then his friend Enrich Torres actually painted a portrait of him. So that that's cool because they were in a studio together. They would borrow like photos of people like yeah. Carla the model for 19 was Carla Soto. Well, that was the model's name that modeled it after that Jose modeled it after was and there was another friend in the studio that had her model for them. So he went, hey, she looks enough. Let me borrow her or whatever. But the one other thing was a lot of photos were taken of different models for Vampy, and they eventually ended up painting the outfit on the models instead of having them wear the outfit in general, wear like the costume in general, because the fabric of the costume would not they would say it didn't flow with them or whatever. So they ended up painting the outfit on them and then take pictures, and then Jose and them would draw whatever they needed and took care of it. But that's pretty much it. Anything else we got? We're going on 2 hours. You got anything else?
Good.
Well, we got another episode.
I think when we do more of these artist features, it's going to be nice to see just the different contrasts. Yeah. Not that there's a lot of contrast with these two artists, but I think the fact that Jose did one title.
Yeah.
And Ballin just
that's what Jose was known for was Vampy, was the one title. But when I get to Enrich Torres next week, Enrich Torres next week, you'll see some of his stuff and go, oh, I know his stuff, because he's done stuff for Marvel too. He's done stuff for R.L. Stine. He's done this guy. The next guy I'm gonna do is he's done a bunch of covers for a bunch of people. So you'll be, but he's done almost every issue of Vampy, almost every issue of the older covers. It was in between two people, him and Saint Julian. So you already hear the other name. So Saint Julian might be my one after Enrich Torres. So and then we'll figure out from there.
About who is going to be my next one, but I definitely have a list of people I want to show off again in my collection, so we'll go from there.
Yep. But guys, we're pretty much this episode's pretty much done. I appreciate you guys for watching. I appreciate all 4, the 5, the 6 to how many ever are gonna rewatch this. This was a artist spotlight on Jose Gonzalez and I know his last name, but Bolin. And then I'm gonna probably do Enrich Torres next week, and you'll find out who Otaku's gonna choose next week. But you guys already know I'm gonna probably choose Vampy artists. So Enrich Torres was gonna be my next one. So be on the lookout for next week, and then we'll have our 7th. Oh no, this is our 7th. or 8th episode next week, right? Something like that. So 8 episodes next week. So we'll catch you guys later. We'll see you soon.
Peace.
We'll see you next week on Saturday.
Back to Saturday.
Yeah. So we'll see you guys on Saturday. See you later.